Hi guys, today is the 12th of February 2019 at 6 minutes past 7 in the evening over here in the UK. At midnight, it began my last 7 days watch in association with the iPad Go 2 video. So a couple of things looking out for coming up to the 14th, 15th or 16th of February in particular, but watching out for the complete 7 days between the 12th and the 18th for all the events that we've talked about. Brexit, Parliament are going to be having a discussion on February the 14th. This means that they're all going to be in the House having this discussion. Of course, we've referenced the House in the iPad Go 2 video in association with Congress in the United States, but it could also be Parliament over here in the UK. Such a catastrophic event would most definitely mean that Brexit would be cancelled and we would remain part of the European Union, which is pretty much what I think the whole gist of this is about. The next round of US-China trade talks is set to take place between February the 14th and 15th. Obviously, that's significant. It's going to have, depending on what comes out of it, detrimental or positive effect on the stock market around the world. So keeping a very close eye on that and all the things that come out of there. Whether another round of sanctions will be, enforced, we don't know, but we'll see. The Kremlin, Russia, Turkey, Iran, they are set to meet in Russia on February the 14th. That joins the other two events I've just talked about. Russian President Vladimir Putin will meet the leaders of Turkey and Iran in the Russian Black Sea resort town of Sochi. That's where they had the Olympics on February the 14th. So keep an eye on that. February the 15th begins the shutdown again if a deal is not agreed. At the moment, Congress have come out saying that they have a preliminary deal, but Donald Trump is saying he's not happy with it. So less than a week left until the shutdown, in fact 3 days for them to sort this out. Otherwise we will have another shutdown, which means all the government services, DHS, Coastal Guard, everything being shut down, which is obviously much more significant considering this is the last of the time frame interpretations from me in association with the iPad Go 2 video. So keep an eye on that and seeing how that unfolds. In terms of national emergency, one may be declared before then. We don't know, but we'll see. So there's a lot to watch out for. In association with the iPad Go 2 video, all of those dates have come out of it. All the dates that we talked about, all the dates that we talked about have come out of this video. But the 14th, in particular, of February is one that I do pay attention to this year because something happened last year and we was looking at February the 14th last year, and obviously we've been through that, you know all about it. So if you're new to the channel, go back in my video history to around February the 14th and you'll see what we was discussing around that time and what eventually happened. So we are looking out for February the 14th, 15th, particularly those days this year. Now, I'm not going to break down the dates in the video itself. I've already taken some screenshots of the scenes I want to talk about, but just to show you online that these are unedited, this is exactly how it is. So the first scene here, we've got outside the goat, which represents a kid. It's a child goat, so a child goat is a kid. It's in a box or in a cage. That's going on down at the border. We have fencing. We've got cold weather. All of that is correct. And in the background, we have what looks like a nuclear plant meltdown. My interpretation for that is the Rio Grande power plant. It's close to the border in Texas, El Paso, where Donald Trump keeps visiting, and the main focus of this whole immigration fight and the war appears to be concentrated. And then we've got the next scene where we've got various different images on the chalkboard. Aside from the ones that are hidden, the ones that are showing are a shark, which represents a submarine. We've got a missile, which is shaped like a penis, and we also have a hangman, which could also represent a broken circuit. So apart from all the other multiple layers of interpretation, that's just a few of them. Donald Trump is represented by the George Bush character. The hat represents dunce or fool or comedian. Any one of those things. A lot to get through. Over here, we have the switch from George Bush to Obama. So the focus after the George Bush Donald Trump character appears to be Obama. Obama can't be president again, but he could be the head of the UN. If anything happened with the United States and the US military was unavailable to respond, the UN military would be able to respond. they have resolutions which allow them to go into any country with their military if the case, if it warrants it, if you know, case by case basis, if it's needed. They haven't really exercised that authority too much, but in an event like the ones we're talking about, I'm pretty sure they would. And you know, instead of having a foreign agency like the UN come in and start controlling things, if Obama was ahead, he's been president of the United States as well. So I think a lot more American people would accept the UN coming in if they had one of their presidents as, you know, the leader. That's just my thoughts. The hearts obviously have a reference to Valentine's Day. More in this scene for me to break down. I'll do that in just a few seconds. In the background here, we've got, you know, children, blue turning red. I think that has a reference to the emergency colors, blue and red. Also, like switching from Democrats to kind of like Republicans. It's like a switch from the left to the right. Obviously, that will happen mentality-wise if things are going really, really bad. You've kind of got the Democrats painted as that all freedom-loving. They kind of remind me of like hippie descriptions, you know, just that everyone wants peace and love and no one wants to put up walls and things like that. And then on the other side, on the extreme other side, you've got we don't want to let anyone in. So I feel like that's how the country may switch if things like this, like the things that we're talking about or have talked about, happen. The famous LC scene with the apple, I've got more to break down there. And this scene as well, which appears to be depicting a volcanic explosion in the background or a nuclear detonation, along with a tsunami, submarines tipping over, and all sorts of things going on in this scene, all layered. If you haven't been following my videos, then you're probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? But as I said, you can go back in the history of my videos or any other YouTuber who covers these topics, like JK Blackout, for example, and you can check out the history of the interpretations that we've done for this video and the amount of layers of interpretation that are placed in it. Now, on to the breakdown. So I've taken a screenshot of a couple of things. I've done this before, but they all seem to be adding up to the same date now. So that's why I'm doing this again. Now let's zoom in a little bit. So first we've got the house over here. I've marked them in different colors just to make it easier for myself. But we've got what appears to be a 2 off to the side here. I know this doubles up as NY as for New York or New Year, since the New Year's gone for both on the Gregorian calendar and the lunar calendar. I'm assuming that would be New York. So we have a 2, we have what could be a 1, and a 3. In my interpretation, this could be February, 1 plus 13, 14. So I've got February the 14th as the date from the house. Then we come over to the missile, penis, and we've got an upside down L, an F, and the number 3. The L is the number 12 numerically. Plus 3 equals 15. The F could stand for Friday or February or both. That comes out as Friday, February 15th. Again, that's the same thing as like the Super Bowl with the L3, L12 plus the 3, 15. So that's why I'm kind of looking at it that way. Down on the shark's mouth makes up number 2. Coming down the tail on the front side, we have the number 7. Coming along the bottom and the edge is also number 7. And we also have the number 1. So I've taken that as 2 for February. 7 is 14, plus the 1 is 15. Both those dates, so February the 14th and the 15th. Over to the hangman, we've got 2 X's or 210. Plus, if you think this is a V, it will be 5. If you think it's IV, then it'll be a 4. So 210 plus 4 or 5 is 214 or 215, which is February the 14th or February the 15th. Outside, in the beginning scene, we have the markings in the snow, 2 marks over here, a mark of 3 over here. Put them together, you've got number 14. The dog has 3 legs here, but 2 separated, so you've got 2 over here. I'm taking that as February, plus the 1, plus the 3. Excuse me, doing that completely wrong. Let me find the markings here. There we are, yeah. So we have the 11 plus the 1 plus the 3, which is 14. So 14? 11 plus 1 plus 3. Yeah, 14. So we're getting up to 15. That's 15, not 14. I don't know where it is. 14 down here. Excuse me. I think it's this one I'm supposed to be following, and this one is for this one. Right, so 11 plus 3, we've got 14. 11 plus 1 plus 3, 15. Again, 14 and 15. I'm assuming that's February, considering the rest of the interpretations. the teacher's hair over here, upside down 2, upside down 2, number 3, and that could be taken, 1, 2 could be taken as February. If you split that 2 into 2 ones, or even if you don't, you could just have it as 11 plus the 3 is 14, so February 14th. And again, with the aerial attack scene, we've got 2 down here, February 1 and 5, 15, February 15th. Let's zoom out. In the classroom with the children, behind the last child, what looks like the number 15. I've kind of drawn the yellow bit there because it looks like the 5 may go around behind the child's head. So it looks like it could say the number 15 there. And the last one is the LC scene, which is LC, I've already spoken about that, 12 and 3 equals 15. I've spoken about this down here as well. It's comprised of an X, the number 4, and the number 5. If you do X4, 14, X5, 15. Over here, I've often looked at this as number 7, but I can also look at it as the letter V, which would represent 5 in Roman numerals, so 1V, which would be 15. That's pretty much all I've got to bring to you guys, just a whole bunch of scenes where it seems that the number 14 and 15 are repeated in various different ways. Keep an eye out on February the 14th, Valentine's Day Blackout, could be another Valentine's Day massacre, and then move on to the 15th, where we've got all these events that may be associated with missiles, nukes, submarines, and various other things. Hopefully nothing happens, pray nothing happens, but be prepared just in case. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.